this love out.
Amigos on the bank will be rolling shit. Amigos on the bank will be.
In a world where cats fight in war, there is also a cat version of Jeffrey Epstein. This summer, the kitten who got away. What's happening, chat? How's it going? How are we doing? Dude, fuck. I've been honestly, I kind of bed rotted today, I'm not gonna lie. Get your paws off that kitten, you monster. No, he's had at least 5 doses of catnip. He doesn't know what's going on. Dude, I have been kind of bed rotting today, not gonna lie. Yeah, like head empty. And just bed rotting the whole day. But you know what? Sometimes we kind of need a little bit of that. Before I got on stream, chat, I was going to do a stream with Hal again because I was like, oh, well, I kind of need something to talk about. I guess it's a Warrior Cats nonce somebody put in the Discord server. And then Hal was like, how about I come on with you? And I'm like, oh, sure, that sounds great. And then she was like, no, I got to make dinner. And I was like, well, you're my sidekick. And so we were debating whether or not I was her sidekick or she was my sidekick. And of course, she's my sidekick because I'm Diesel and she comes on my streams. So that would make her my sidekick, right? Like that's how that works, is that I would be the Batman and she would be the Robin. Could have talked about the new Rob's Media video, but that's EHD content. Exactly, it's EHD. And I'd rather be streaming out of a cardboard box than making a livable wage talking about EHD. Honestly, it's a dynamic duo because I miss Hal dog walks you every stream. That's crazy. I can't even be offended because it's kind of true sometimes, not gonna lie. It's more mutual than that, okay? Like, damn, I'm being slandered really when you say something like that. And then she literally dog walks him after. Ha 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 ha. Get all the yucks out of your system. Are you streaming from the void, Naravar? Not today. I'm thinking I'm gonna be doing it from Vivek. You know, streaming from Vivek. The connection is just better there in Vivek. The place, not the guy. Though I'm sure you'd get good connection from the guy too. Yeah, man. So a bunch of fucking stuff in gaming happened lately, which was kind of like cringe. That kind of sucked. I heard Vince Zampella died in a car accident today, dude. Will the Melon stream be our Xmas gift this year? Look, man, you're lucky I'm streaming on I'll probably be streaming on Christmas and Christmas Eve as well because I don't have anything going on. I never thought I'd see a report on someone in the Warrior Cats. Yeah.
Merry Christmas, boss man.
Holy fucking shit, Axis. Holy fucking shit. I don't think the emote there did the fucking fanfare. Axis, thank you. Holy shit. Literally paying my student loans this month. Very awesome, dude. Thank you so much. Very win. Did someone call for me? Hal, we were discussing whether or not you were my sidekick or I was your sidekick. Axis has too much money. No. Let's not all downplay Axis's money, okay? I need it. So you're my sidekick, Obs. That is not the case. So I think it was Starshine in the chat said it was a dynamic duo. I can't believe you brought up Vivek in front of me, Nerevar. I'm talking about the city, not the guy. But yeah, Vince Zampella fucking died. That's a big shame, dude. Before another Titanfall, he died. It's a big problem. All right, but Call of Duty, fucking Apex Legends, not that one. But like otherwise, he's like he was like a Kojima for first person shooters, you know? Nah, you're simply just my sidekick. You asked what I wanted to stream about and got sad when I couldn't. Yeah, because the alternative is that I gotta get on camera and talk about the Warrior Cat's pedophile, you know? I've always I know I do, like, before I get into the topic, I talk about like news stuff. Honestly, I think at this rate, I might as well just start doing like a news stream on top of my drama streams. I don't know if anybody would care or wants that or is interested in that in the slightest. But you know, I'm just bringing it up and spitballing ideas out here to increase the amount of content. But yeah, dude, we're gonna be talking about a Warrior Cat's pedophile. All right. How much like how Robin only does basic bitch crime jobs without Batman. Anyway, I wanted to do, or well, I wanted to yap. Okay, I keep getting distracted. Jesus Christ, holy shit, I get distracted easily. Not something I knew I'd want, but I'd be down for news streams. I'd probably do them during the day before I go to work because, you know, there's like a big gap in the week where I don't like stream, so I need to like, first of all, I need to wake up early, which is difficult. But then also, Diesel DeFranco. Listen, I need to do something. I need to keep adding to this void of content, dude. Okay. Stages, Diesel. I'm gonna do a stage after this fucking stream, by the way. Okay. Do stages. Yes, I'm going to do a stage. I'm gonna do a stage after this stream. All right. This one's probably just going to be a stage rather than a stage in a members stream, but I'm going to do it. Anyway, all this to say, I don't know. I've been thinking about what I could do differently. All right, and now Slaw with the 10 gifted. I'm never getting to the topic. I'll join the stage because I'll be done cooking. Okay. Thank you, Slaw, for the 10 gifted. You're also single-handedly funding the stream, you know? I want to hear you talk about news and politics on YouTube streams. First of all, nobody needs to hear my politics. You guys already hear enough of that as it is, all right? You already hear me bitch enough about the cost of living being expensive. Though my ass is so tight these days, it's getting a little ridiculous, dude. I need like a something, you know? I don't know what that something is, but I need it. I need something to loosen it. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. A lot of stuff I want to add in the new year. I've been looking into doing multi-streaming to like Twitch, which apparently, and I'm not a fucking expert, but guys, I hear that I can't show YouTube chat on Twitch. What if I just did that, and then if I got banned, I just threw my hands up and went up? I guess I was banned from Twitch. What if I did that? It's like, who's gonna stop me if I did that? You know, like why not? Why? So Twitch says they don't want to dilute the viewer experience on Twitch, but I feel that separating the chats would dilute the experience more than just having both of them together. So that way chat members can understand what's going on regardless of whatever stream they're in. They basically just want to keep you siloed on Twitch and don't want you to go off of Twitch, right? But I've noticed that people don't convert between platforms. Like, you guys are on YouTube, which is why you watch me on YouTube, right? You wouldn't go over to Twitch. You're not interested in going there. So it's a very stupid reasoning, but it's just because they're trying to squeeze more money out of people, which is why they don't like multi-streaming. But it's been costing them like stream shares of the public. I hate Twitch, so I wouldn't. Yeah, see, so that's like a good example of why, you know, you wouldn't. But I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Kick is better. I don't know about that, but if they allowed multi-streaming, sure. I don't like Kick's vibe, okay? I don't like Kick's vibe. I don't like the energy they bring to the platform, okay? Diesel Kick stream win. I just don't like the energy there, you know? Just ask Mizkif. Well, yeah, Mizkif is something I was going to talk about in the stage later, most likely, but yeah. Yeah, Mizkif. We could put you on TikTok streaming. I want to stream on TikTok, bro. I want to fucking stream on TikTok, but I don't have enough fucking TikTok subs. I don't have enough TikTok followers to stream on TikTok, dude. God, it's fucking stupid. They should just let me stream on TikTok. It's annoying as hell, dude. Annoying as hell. Anyway, let's get on to the topic, all right? I've been spending enough time fucking complaining about my pretend job. So, this is Sagittarius, by the way. All right, this is Sagittarius. Sagu. I'm going to call them Sagu because I don't know how to fucking pronounce their name. All right. But she is a Warrior Cats animator and artist. And she has been accused. And apparently it is very damning. So you can request it. I have to look for it again. But you can absolutely use your following on other sites to justify them allowing you to. I'm small as fucking god in. I'll look into that. I'll look into that probably while I'm at the store tomorrow. So I'll do it tomorrow. But this is they're an artist. You know, they do the animation, right? And they're big on the Warrior Cats community for their Warrior Cats animations. For those of you that are unfamiliar with Warrior Cats, I'll explain that in like 10 seconds, okay? But you can see all these cats, and they do be fighting, okay? Is that cat named Maik? Dude, Maik the liar is real, and also Epstein. But yeah, so they're an animator, and they're known primarily within the Warrior Cats community. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with the Warrior Cats community, Warrior Cats is a series of young adult novels. Warrior Cats is really popular with people in like elementary to middle school, well, probably more like middle school. And basically it is this large, sprawling, fictional world of cats that are fighting and warring and have all of these alliances. And, you know, it's about their struggles. And that's like the big, broad overview. Warrior Cats has garnered quite the online community because there's just a lot to get into, and a lot of people grow up with this, right? And you might have heard of the whole stereotype of this person. You might have been this person. You might remember this person. But there is a type of girl, and it's usually a girl. There is a horse girl equivalent. So this is the cat girl to the horse girl, a warrior cats girl. So a warrior cats girl is like someone who meows and paws at people. And like, you know how like guys watch a fucking Christian Bale movie and then go, he's literally me, or a Ryan Gosling movie and go, he's literally me. Girls in middle school would do that, but for warriors. They would do the same. They would do the same thing. So that's what this is. That's what the community is more about, the general appreciation and building an OC and being a part of that world and yada, yada. But that is what it is, right? Anyway, Sagittarius has been accused of being a nonce. I haven't read these Google Docies yet, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, hey, it's probably that bad. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna say. But it's probably bad. I should also mention, I don't know, sorry for me being a little bit woke. This doesn't mean like the community is like approving of pedos or anything like that, dude. There's a lot of communities out this like that on the internet, and I think if people want to enjoy warrior cats, even if they're like, you know, like whatever, that's just let them fucking enjoy warrior cats. Like the same way I just don't care if you're a furry and like you like to participate in that line of the internet and world, go right ahead. That's fine for you. I fully fuck with it. All right, just don't break the good conscience of society by being a criminal. That's really it. That's all I could say, right? Anyway, this is saved on the way back machine, okay? Love the warrior cats. Then I went to 6th grade. Pi, did you move on to Guardians of Ga'Hoole? Is that why? You go from warrior cats to Guardians of Ga'Hoole? Or did you go from warrior cats to Harry Potter? I feel like the warrior cats to Harry Potter pipeline is real, you know? Like, I think that's a very common train of youth book reading. God, I missed that IP. Apparently nobody missed it enough because, well, I saw the movie in theaters, man. I moved to vaping. You vaped in 6th grade? Damn. It's a lot of lead. All right. Let's get into the Google Docky, and then we'll get into the video. So apparently they came back, right? So we're starting all the way at the beginning at the OG Google Docky that started it all, right? Anyway, warning. This is a call-out post for the user, Sagittarius, famously known for the animations on YouTube. I want to warn those for mentions not limited to grooming, sending not safe for work to minors, engaging in romantic relations with minors, sexualizing ships of minors, power dynamics, and hiding relationships. Guardians of Ga'Hoole mentioned. Yeah. Why? You know what's crazy? Nobody fucking talks about Guardians of Ga'Hoole, but all of a sudden I got all these Gahooligans in chat. Okay, where was all this energy for the Guardians of Ga'Hoole movie? Were you guys busy with your fucking high school algebra exam? Was that it? You should have been there. You should have been Gahooliging. Okay, maybe we could have had 6 Ga'Hoole movies. I love that movie. I actually like Guardians of Ga'Hoole. I know Pointless Hub did a video on it recently. I remember it from when I saw it. It was that was my first Zack Snyder movie. All right. Disclaimer. It is to my dismay that I share this with everyone, as I am quite surprised, to whom it may concern. I've reached you at a very Chinese time in my life. Guys, this is did you guys I didn't know about this. I don't know why the Chinese thing reminded me of that. But the Labubu lady, the 24 karat gold Labubu lady, I didn't know that she made a KSI Labubu that was just like a blackface Labubu, and she got banned, dude. Or no, she didn't get banned. She got canceled. I don't even think she knew that what she was making was racist, right? Do you know, like, when you like make something and you don't realize it's offensive until somebody says that's offensive? I feel like she had no hate in her heart and she made a blackface Labubu and she got canceled for it. So what I'm saying is that we should bring the golden Labubu lady back and that she should get another chance. I think she was wrongly persecuted and she served her time and she should come back to making Labubus. But this time somebody should at least, you know, check before she posts her Labubu online. Yeah, gold-plated Labubu. Hold on, let me show you. Let me show you. KSI Labubu. Hold on, let me find the KSI Labubu. KSI Labubu. There we go. Where's the sound? Why can't I hear anything on this? There's no sound. I'm not crazy, right? Like, hold on.
A popular warrior cat.
Okay, it's just the Labubu. Nah, it's mute. Oh, I'm stupid. Okay, so the UI didn't load. The UI didn't
World's
load.
first KSI Labubu. So I have been a fan of the Sidemen for years and years.
Dude, her being a fan of the Sidemen is so real. When I think of, there's two people I think of when I think of Sidemen fans. 12-year-old chavs, and like, I don't know what the UK equivalent of this type of lady is, but there are many types of ladies in England like her, okay? Why, like they always got the spray tan on, okay?
Years, and I can't tell you how excited I was to pick up this KSI Labubu.
Where the fuck are you gonna get a KSI Labubu? Where did she get this?
I was so excited. So I paid £100,000 for the
You paid £100,000 for a Labubu? I think we should cancel you for your frivolous spending, man.
KSI Labubu, and I think it's just perfect. I love it. This is with my collection of most expensive Labubus of the world.
Ask Hal what kind of British woman this is. I'll have to ask her in the stage because she's busy fucking cooking right now, dude.
Obviously, because they are top celebrities and they're probably the biggest YouTubers out there. I don't know if there's anyone else from the
Dude, her fake eyelash. There's not a single piece of hate in her heart. How can we cancel this woman for her love of KSI and the Sidemen? She doesn't even see the racist connotations associated with that Labubu. All right, she's an honest soul. She's being wrongfully persecuted, and we need to let her back in the house.
Sidemen that I'll get in Labubus, because obviously this is a one-off. I am the only person.
It actually, okay, I'm gonna be honest. It kind of looks like she has a lynched Labubu. She's like hanging it by the lynching. I'm starting to see why this one's a little problematic.
In the world that has the KSI Labubu. Now the bandana that is actually on the KSI Labubu is actually one of KSI's bandanas that he used in one of his rapping videos.
They were used in one of his rapping videos.
So that is why I'm the only other person to own the KSI Labubu. Obviously no one else is going to have one because no one else is going to be able to get a bandana from him like I've been able to. Anyway, I hope you all love my KSI Labubu as much as I do. I think he's super cute.
I
am the owner.
I think, dude, she should be able to come back. Is that a racist Horcrux? Dude, if you break it, then it's going to release the Grand Wizard of the KKK from it, dude. She had no clue. She had no clue. Okay? She didn't know, guys. She didn't know. This is her original.
I am the owner of the famous 24 karat gold Labubu.
24 karat gold Labubu.
Now, as if you are new here, we had him made out of 200 grams of 24 karat gold. He previously looked like this, and we had him turned in.
What is her? Is she like a jeweler or something? She's giving like this lady feels like what I think a female version of Johnny Dang would be like. Like, I feel like her and Johnny Dang would be best friends. All right. Like, she needs to get iced out, get some grills, you know?
Into a little Labubu with a Labubu shape.
Is this chat too white to know who Johnny Dang is? Do I need to explain who that is?
Thingy. Because they are so viral, obviously the price of them is going to skyrocket. Now, each one of these bars costs £20.
I'm going to get back to the pedophile in a second. I want to watch the Labubu.
£1,000. So that was the cost of him. Anyway, I'm going to perform a gold test. Now, a lot of you have been telling me that the gold tests aren't correct. Anyway, this is a new one, look. It's still got the slip on it. I ordered this. It arrived today. So let's give it a go. So obviously,
I'm black and I don't know what you're talking about. Oh my gosh.
if it was to touch my nail, no noise. If it is to touch this, which is gold, so you get the gist. Anyway, first his face. My Rolex.
Listen, this is a real gold Labubu. See, I got my Rolex on. I got my ice on my chest. Wait, isn't that the grinder noise?
You get the gist.
That's the noise grinder makes? Is that what happens when you get a grind? What do they call it in grind when you get a match? In grinder when you get a match?
Because he's 24 karat gold.
24 karat gold Labubu. The KSI Labubu. Oh. Dude, I love that lady, dude. We should bring her back. We should bring her back. I think she should come back. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's get back to the pedophile in the room, okay? Let's go back. Diesel, did you know that Sony is making a Labubu movie? Is that before or after the Bored Apes cartoon? You know, are we gonna do NFTs and then they meet up with Labubus, and then we have the niche micro trend cinematic universe? We could have fidget spinners as weapons in it. Why not? Oh, I just know she doesn't mess around with her Tesco meal deals. Let's see. I am quite surprised as it turns out not all victims are aware of these kinds of situations are grooming and are much less inclined to speak up about this kind of topic. I have alibis of multiple minors being jokingly sent not safe for work images while this individual was 20 to 21. I also want to mention at the time, many of these events said individuals pursued a non-platonic relationship with a 4-year age gap with the 17-year-old. This relationship was urged upon said minor to keep quiet until their 18th birthday. The language in this is very strange. The language in this is very strange. And it was me and others who came to that conclusion that this was in fact grooming. No 21-year-old has any place dating a minor, much less sending any kind of not safe for work. I do have on my account, there was at least one. Why does this person type like they're like a dysfunctional Victorian English person? Individual admitting physical attraction to said minor. However, this was not in text format. I frankly find this disturbing, but I do not blame any minor aware of this relation at the time being. I will state very clearly that I do have the names of the adults who were aware of such relationship occurring, but chose not to speak up, and continue to support this individual without seeing any wrong in it. I ask that you respect any victim in this and do not share their identities, for I will feel inclined to share the names of the current adults who stood by and watched this happen but said nothing. Why is it written like this? Is it just that my vernacular isn't verbose enough to understand such eloquent writing? Or is it that this is actually written quite strangely? The original docky seems to have been removed. A tuber collated them, which is why I have them now. So there is that. Let's see. This is unlikely, however, and up for debate, as I will focus on the next segment and discuss some screenshots I looked through myself after pressing multiple individuals for info. I swear to God, the way that people go about things in other communities is very interesting, because the standard is always so different every time I look at all these like different communities. Like I obviously am a tourist. I don't know anything about the Warrior Cats community, but something about the like everything about this feels very odd. I will state here that I am simply a bystander, and I felt these actions were extremely inappropriate and frankly predatory. I will admit that I was the one who pressed the individuals and discussed with several and came to this conclusion. This is absolutely unacceptable behavior, even if a few years back. Even therapists / parents and older adults, upon looking into this for a second opinion, felt it was extremely wrong. This is a teenager that wrote this, isn't it? This is a teenager that wrote this. This was written by a child that I can tell. Said victims of this are not involved in any way, and I do not wish to involve them. So I ask that you do not endanger anyone by outing any involvees or turning this into a big deal. You will be blacklisted. Okay. Is this doc from the victim of the accused? No, this is from a third-party individual who is simply a bystander. This kind of thing is extremely traumatic and could cause a severe amount of damage to a person's psychological state of being. I am here to share why I feel this is wrong, and I hope others can see it as well. I know that anyone aware of the screenshots I am about to show you personally agreed that this is not normal at all. I will give a summary. However, it is my awareness that Sagittarius, 21 at the time, agreed to start a romantic relationship with a 17-year-old. And even talked about kissing and referred to each other as partners. Said minor and OP met when minor was a freshly 16 years old. And as of then, I did look and find that not safe for work was indeed sent back and forth, mostly via older communication points like Hangouts. Hangouts! Jacob Sagittarius. I have come to you upon this day to inform upon you one of the most interesting and determinedly despicable events of which have occurred. I believe that in summary, something dastardly had occurred here upon this Discord chat, of which such things I will now regale to you in detail. That's how it feels, okay? That's how this feels. Okay, I know this is a really stupid complaint, but I don't like how, so they had like, you know when you write something in docs and you could have it start from the left and go out to the right, or start from the right and go out to the left? They had it like start from the middle and go out both ways, and I don't like it when you format a text like this. If you're writing a text, start from the left side of the paper, okay, and indent your first paragraph, so that way I know there's a start to a new paragraph, okay? Also, double space is also very appropriate. I think you should do that as well. They centered everything like a freak. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to center things in text, okay? The actual dating itself was 2018. Then the first several days of 2019. I will not explain how this relationship ended, as it was not on the minor's terms. Wait. Flag. It can be a relationship because they're a fucking minor. One. All right. Two, there can be no terms based on the presumptive structure of this relationship, okay? And also, how this all fell apart is actually wildly important to understanding the context of this fucking story. So saying, oh, I'm not going to tell you about how everything fell apart, when that is actually rather important to understanding what happened. I will not explain how this relationship ended, as it's not on the minor's terms. There was never an official breakup initiated by the adult. So what happened? Obviously, the minor is not at fault for the situation. It is normal for kids to look up to and even develop crushes on older peers. What is not okay was that the individual reciprocating said confession and even agreeing to a non-platonic relationship. To my knowledge, it was not truly sexual, but is still wrong. As an adult, it is always your place to shut this kind of thing down. As an adult, whenever a minor expresses attraction, it is your job to shut that shit down. This is, you know, when somebody's like kind of trying to fill out words in an essay? This is what this feels like. I don't understand the specifics of what I'm hearing here. Q, if you're So, okay, one of the mods who's in VC with Q, I did clean the glass. That's called my reflection, you racist. The reason that you see that, like, stuff, I definitely cleaned the glass. The glass is clean on the side of my PC case. Now I'm going to show this as chat, and now everybody's going to be like, Diesel, it's not clean enough. I can see some dust here and dust here at the top, okay? But I was taking a picture of the stickers I had put in my PC because I was complaining that I couldn't get them to stick, because when I went through and I cleaned my PC, then nothing would stick to it, and I don't know why. And it's not just the stickers, but they won't stick. Drop the link to the stickers, bro. I can do that right now. Hold on. Let me do that. If you'd like to claim your own stickers, all right, you can do so here at Mana Potion merch. We have some Klebo stickers. And I missed out on the Midna stand, actually. That's right. I missed out on my own product. I didn't know it was happening. It was happening completely separate from me. I have blank spaces where it's okay for me to put stickers on my PC, which is why I was okay with it, you know. What did you clean it with? It may be attacking the adhesive. That's what I'm thinking happened. So yeah. Yeah, I did catch that apparently parents knew about this. Part of what makes this wrong was said minor was pushed to keep this relationship a secret from the public, at least until they were of age. Meaning, this individual clearly knew it was wrong, endorsing the idea that you need to wait to date someone / go public when said individual is legal adult is a common phrase tactic used by groomers. What are you, their fucking coach? Let's take a look at this bothersome screenshot. Dude, the fucking verbiage in this Google document is sending me. It is actually one of the most weirdly worded things ever, okay? I haven't gotten to the actual content of this, but it better be damning because the presentation of this is bad. All right. Oh, honestly, I don't. It's just I'm afraid of Twitter people calling me out because they go like by the exact line of everything. So I just force myself to keep in mind that you're 17 and I don't like it. There's really no huge difference between 17 and 18 mindset wise. So to me, seriously, I don't care. If it comforts you, we do it as a joke, but not everyone agrees that it can be seen that way and puts on the most severe charges. I don't want to get the label of pedophile or groomer when in fact we're just joking around. That shit gets put on a record and will exist for the rest of my life. So when whoever looks up to me online, it'll be there for them to see. Whether they know the context or not, so I just have to be careful. Did I have a stroke? Why is everything written so weirdly in this? In a way that I haven't been prior. I don't know what she said about me, but I do wish her the best. I wouldn't call her out for anything, and I respect her decisions. Despite it being called a joke, this is clearly not so, as Sagittarius went as far to refer to the minor as a boyfriend, even drawing multiple explicitly romantic drawings of their OCs. I know you probably won't get this until tomorrow morning, but I still hope you have sweet dreams. I love you a lot. Shy schmooch. Proof of hiding relationship. So there's their OCs kissing. I love that they blacked out the OC. Yeah, that's a red flag. That is definitely a red flag. I also saw that you said you got anxious. I hope it didn't trigger it with that, and I hope you feel better soon. Well, something happened. Blank messaged me the other day and said she knew we were a thing. I didn't tell anyone. She just kind of figured. And so we were talking. Hold on. Let me look at the convo. You didn't confirm it, did you? Uh-oh. I'm really glad to hear. Sorry, I'm being really paranoid tonight. It's okay. Cry face. I've missed having someone special like this, and I'm just really gay. Technically straight, lol. I can't wait either. Ugh. Oh boy. All right. Uh So like the real thing here is that they knew it was wrong and then decided to do it anyway. You know? Why didn't they just like spawn camp them and wait until they turn 18 at the very least, you know? Like if you're going to do something that you know is bad, just like hedge the bet in your favor. Jail of 1,000 years. Not for the gross behavior, but simply for the grammar. I want to be clear that this next screenshot is a little confusing. I wish I could see the chat logs. I feel like I'm missing context, but still concerning. I feel this was either in reference to not safe for work of minor characters or related to something of a relationship. Outright, though, OP knew it was wrong. Hey, I told you not to bring it up. You did? Yeah. Sorry, I forgot. It's okay. I am not going to send art with explicit genitals, but I have this. This is in minor's DMs. I have access to more if I feel inclined, but I want to be careful now for any minor audiences. This is actually was this written by like a 14-year-old? What is this? And then there's some I don't even. Here's the image I saw, by the way. I'm screaming, and then it's like some yaoi. Not Nagito and Komeda. Sorry, I'm too employed to know who that is. What? What the fuck is that? What is that? Is that... Yes, Bowser, more slowly. Is this like Fat Vor? Is this Fat Vor or something? Are you alive? I need context for this image. I actually don't know what's happening in that image. I recognize that image. What do you mean? Dr. Mario. Dumbass missed my boyf, so she drew him again. PNG. Dude, I love it. I really want to draw you something. I've been doodling things on paper, though. I love you, too. I've been wanting to kind-ass sing kiss. Oh, out loud. Dude, I'm same. Okay? It might help, yeah. I don't know. It's just a lot of I don't deserve this / that and a lot of self-destructive thoughts. And just, I don't know. I feel like I'm bothering people and I just ruin stuff for everyone and myself. And like towards you, I'm afraid you think I'm too much or I just don't want to bother you of all people. And I start feeling so obnoxious. You can talk about it. Oh my God, Sally, please don't ever think you're too much for me because I promise you aren't. Dude, I love you so much. If anything, it's me who doesn't deserve anything. You've only been kind to others and dealt with things in the most mature manner possible, but you never ruined anything, I promise. Sorry, I'm like, are you afraid of scaring you off with being like too clingy or something? Because you mean a whole lot to me, and I'm afraid of making you uncomfortable. Dude, you deserve so much. I just want to tell you how much I love you and appreciate you every day because you're super lovely and never think otherwise. And thank you so much, man. Seriously, it's relieving to hear. Damn. Are we crucifying them because they're a groomer or because they're fucking annoying? Because I'll take both. With that, I advise you all to think hard about who you support and recognize how harmful this is. Even if now OP does not agree with what they did at the time, the fact that it's still happening is terrifying to me. I held this individual as an idol, but now I'm severely disappointed. I do not want a response to this, mainly because I am not a victim of them. I do not want any DMs about this individual, defending or otherwise. You'll be blocked and blacklisted. No minor at all, even jokingly, should be sent not safe for work. Yeah, those images were fucking foul. I 100% agree. That was actually really wrong, and they shouldn't have done it. But then also in the same respect, you need to give me some more to go on here. And I beg anyone who feels the need to defend this individual. How'd they get these messages? Like that was damning, obviously, but how did they get these messages? I want to know what happened that led to these messages leaking, because I feel like there's a part to this story that gets a lot more salacious, and I just don't, like, we don't have it. Like, how do you even come to get a hold of these, right? Like, this person is saying that they have the Keemstar files on top of files, right? But then they're like, I'm not posting it. I have more damning things. Well, it's like, if you're saying that somebody is a pedophile, first of all, this should go to the police. But then second of all, after doing due diligence with the police and allowing the police time to do their job, if you go to post something like this, why are you holding stuff back and waiting for a later date? It like, when you do something like that, it's like, oh, I'm waiting to see what they say in response. Just, I don't know. It's just like, what else is there? All right. So this is the update docky, okay? Update. It appears I have gotten some timelines wrong. I want to mention the group chat was largely when I was 50. Okay, I'm going to watch the video now because clearly there's something I'm missing.
Cats animator. Alarming news has surfaced. A popular Warrior Cats animator, previously exposed for grooming and public behavior, has returned
This is definitely also a teenager. This is 110% a teenager.
to the internet, and disturbingly, a significant number of people are welcoming her back.
Oh my god. Is that Lyle Convoy?
Before we begin, I want to be transparent with you guys, and that is that prior to this new situation that came up, I was not familiar with this creator. And
They're playing Roblox. This is a baby. Teens shouldn't be covering this kind of shit. It's teenagers LARPing all the way down, bro. The frustrating part of this is that I know that I was doing the same kind of content at 16, so I'm definitely in like a glass houses, like yelling at them, but then like I definitely would have done something else when I was that age if I could, you know. I definitely would have done something else.
Been deeply involved in the Warrior Cats fandom.
But and also this is like a byproduct of like 2 or 3 things, right? I think like commentary and like the pedo hunting stuff and all of that and like the commodification of those things has led to a lot of kids and teenagers getting online thinking that they're fucking Kira, okay, and trying to like solve crimes themselves, and it's just like, you don't do that. COVID is another byproduct. Like, COVID definitely led to a lot of the poor socialization, lack of third spaces. Stop it! You're gonna start me on zoning laws again. It's coming out. It's coming out. No, Diesel's gonna talk about cheap public transit and. Yeah, it's giving everyone sense I'm mature for my age. Yeah. It's like that. There's a lot of things. I fully admit that the content that I make definitely encourages this kind of behavior, not the crime doing, but the crime solving type stuff. It's totally bad. Like, it's just not good. It's just not good.
So this is all new to me, and please
Dude, every time I see a game in Roblox, I'm like, this just looks like I literally don't even know what's happening.
me if I get something wrong. That said,
And I am like not an idiot and play games.
this situation goes way beyond.
But it just looks like they're running
drama.
around in circles. What are they trying to catch? Like the golden noob or something? Like fucking Harry Potter?
Involves serious situations that absolutely need attention and deserve it as well. My heart goes out to all the victims in this situation, and I really, really hope that she just gets help. And
Also, look. Here's the thing. Every time we say, I hope this horrible criminal gets help, alleged criminal, right? Anything like that. Anytime somebody gets online and says that, I wish we could just be honest with ourselves and we didn't have to keep up this veneer of like, I care about well-being, because we don't, right? It's like, I hope that this, literally just be like, I hope you die. Like, that's it. Like,
stays out of the light. Honestly, I will be linking all relevant documents in the description.
like, I just, like, if somebody does anything online, I don't even know how you, like, come back from it unless you post through the pain. Granted, there's no coming back from this.
Description below. Out of respect for viewers and to avoid spreading harmful material, I won't be displaying images included in the documents. However, I will be reading from them with heavy censorship when necessary. Viewer discretion is advised for these following.
Is this just them reading the docies?
Occurred when they were approximately 21 years old at the time of content creator who is currently 28 years old at the time of recording this. According to the documents, the alleged incidents occurred when they were approximately 21 years old.
Is this this feels like they were the docu writer though.
Sally is well known for their Warrior Cats animations and artwork and gained a substantial following online. As of now, their YouTube channel still sits at roughly 150,000 subscribers, which is deeply unsettling given the nature of...
Counterpoint, Vivian, what if they do actually get fixed and do go to therapy and do get help? What then? Like, what do we do then? Like, if there's no charges pressed and nobody goes to jail, what do you, like, at that point, what do you do? Like, I don't know what you do. Like, I'm asking.
The documents that have come out against them. I'm really hoping they're bots and not real people, because it's disturbing. At this point, I'm going to read directly from the callout and claims documents. Warning. This is a callout post for the user Sagutoyus, famously known for their animations on YouTube. I want to warn them.
So this is just them reading the docu then. So this doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand, because this information is so disparate and non-explained, right? Like, that I don't understand what I'm reading, because I feel like I'm lacking in the context. Okay, well, I guess I'll just read the second document if that's what you're gonna do. It feels like this is a document 3 in a list of like 2, like this is 2 of 3 documents and I'm missing one of them, dude. Like, I'm literally like an internet sleuth going through the Epstein files. That's my reference for everything now. I'm gonna keep doing it. This is gonna be me for like the next 6 months. Okay, Epstein files is my new fucking autistic tick. All right. Because we need them. We need them released. So that way we can know that our government is definitely ran by a pedocracy. They see older YouTubers doing content like this and want to mimic it. They just don't understand the actual weight or the consequences of the content. They're just playing pretend. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, these are from the video description. And there's no other context aside from that these are the documents that they read off of. But we'll just read it and figure out from there. It appears to have gotten some timelines wrong. I want to mention the group chat that was largely when I was 15 going on 16. OP joined a chat while I was freshly 16, and it ended a handful of months later. The actual reciprocated confession was when I was 16, not 17. I guess this is them responding to the original document. What helped me piece this together was how quickly all of these events had happened. I met OP at 16, and at the time, I specifically remember having dated / being broken up with an IRL ex. I was into 10th grade when we broke up, and I went to... I'm fucking too old for this, dude. I don't have the patience for this. I don't have the patience for this. You know what's funny? I was thinking this recently, because I'm a politically minded person. I pay attention to those things. Literally... politics, fucking every single piece of like media that people engage with now online, it's all this. It's all this. And I don't mean like this and like the pedo stuff, right? I mean like it's all internet drama. It's all internet drama, right? It's like we're not even fucking talking about politics. It's like fucking JD Vance gets on stage and he's like, they're mad you're white and you don't need to be sorry anymore. And then everybody cheers. And then somebody fucking responds and they're like, JD Vance, actually, you're gay. And then, and then somebody else is like, oh, Nicki Minaj says, we are Charlie Kirk. And then somebody else is like, fucking Nicki Minaj's music sucks. And it's like, none of it is demonstrably like useful to anybody. Okay. It's all like fucking breads and circuses as everything important crumbles around us. All right. like it's all just, it's all this. Okay. There's not, dude, the amount of, dude, somebody goes to Congress and they just make like a clap back. They're clip fishing. They're clip farming in Congress. They're clip farming in Congress. Do you know what this means? We're doomed. God, all right. I got out of my system. Let me go back to reading this. I went into the 11th grade. For the first few months I had there, my IRL ex no longer attended my school. I will refer to them as S. Shortly upon breaking up with S, I admitted my feelings to OP, and it was reciprocated. I remember specifically because we did not immediately date while I was 16, as OP did not feel ready to do something like that. Likely because I was freshly 16, and the fact that they were also going to a breakup from their own IRL as well. But I specifically remember the confession being triggered by my devastation with the IRL breakup of S, and that most of Sally and I's interactions were in fact while I was a 10th grader. Why do we care about the ex? Why are they important? Because they're upset about their ex. They're in the 10th grade, all right? I'm not gonna grind my ex too hard about that. Oh, I will. Never mind. I'm not even gonna pretend that I'm gonna be charitable to this child. I went on a date with a different unnamed individual. I will not name their name, but if they are seeing this doc, they probably know who they are, as they knew OP. What? So this is okay. So your 10th to 11th grade IRL partner knows the writer of the original docky, okay? And all of these folks are associating with the Sally person in some regard. I turned 17 dating this individual, and shortly after me and ex number 2 broke up. That was when I fully dated Sally. Well, you were partially dating Sally before then? What's that? What do you mean by that? Well, you got one foot in each camp? Is that what's going on? I hope this can clear things up. There was, in fact, more than just a platonic at 16. So you... how much like a fucking 16-year-old to be doing both at the same time? When the relationship forcefully ended, I still had 9 months till I was even an adult. It was January 14, yup. The presentation of the facts in here, nobody's ever taken this seriously. I just want to say, nobody's ever gonna take this seriously. It's just nonsense. It's just nonsense in here. My memory is horrible with these kinds of things, and I deeply apologize, but it makes sense knowing because of our friendship was primarily and largely when I was 16, and these timelines match up considering I had dated 2 people during these events. Evidence on my channel with my long activity goes to show that I was not 17 for long before I went on my interruption hiatus. But the official, more romantic things did indeed happen at 17, to be clear. The delivery of this is very frustrating. Hold on one second. I got a text message. I gotta respond. So was this the victim? Yeah, this is the victim writing. I confess to Sally. What? But she has a GF. I'm such an idiot. Nah, she doesn't. Wait, what? She doesn't, but I'm still PP. Did she respond? She likes me. Because there's nothing wrong with confessing, fam. Oh my god. Yes, 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 yes. I'm proud. I'm shook. That's great. Whoa, whoa, whoa. They were texting? What the fuck? Okay, well, lol, apparently I've kind of liked you for a bit, but if that's something new or not at all, because I'm a big P, and I just wanted to, yeah. Don smite me, my nasty 5-year-old ass. Oh, I felt the same way, to be completely honest with you. I know Glitch 60 was hosting a. This is an abbreviation, by the way. This is not the map that we are familiar with. I don't know what it's an abbreviation for. I haven't been able to discern it yet, but this is not Glitch 60 was hosting a minor attracted person to reanimate the first episode of SSP, but he seems to have literally dropped off the face of the earth since mid-January. I'm pretty concerned given what he was saying about his personal circumstances before then, so I have no idea if the project's still on or not. Multi-animator project. Thank you for telling me. I really hope he's okay. Glitch went to my school, and he's vanished from there too sometime before midterms. OP has the video up still about their ex-partner. Can confirm this is 5 years ago. I was 16. This will be my final statement, as there are doubts that this situation is legitimate. I gotta be honest. Look. If I'm a betting man, of which I will now bet, I'll say that what they were doing, what Sally was doing, was completely inappropriate. Period. But also, it seems like you were conscious and aware to make a decision that was appropriate. All right? So I'm not feeling too miffed about saying you kind of seem like a fucking idiot. And I know that might be really, I don't know, shitty to say, but it's just my feeling on it. So sorry. This could have been a guidance counselor meeting. I want to provide dead proof that this was indeed something me and my friends experienced. To be clear, you can refer to me as Soul. As of today, I am 21 years old. What are you, you're 21 now? Are you fucking retarded? What is wrong with you? The way that this is written, you write like you're a child. If you're 21 now, you write like you're a child. I have / was in the past in this community in part for years. I do not further wish to interact with this situation, as this is a dead account and I'm entirely elsewhere, but I feel that this doc is being taken down multiple times and people trying to silence others on their experiences. I will speak out one final time. This glitch sickle persona is not something connected to me IRL. I do not wish to associate with it, and I consider it an anonymous persona, as I hold no emotional weight to this account, as I already feel entirely disconnected. Dude, okay. This Sally person did things that were 110% completely inappropriate and inexcusable, period. End of conversation. 2, something about you seems so dysfunctionally broken that I am less inclined to believe it on the basis of how this document is written. I need to keep telling myself that the Mario Barra picture is bad enough, and it is enough for me to have made my decision. But I also can't help but say, oh, this is really poorly done, and it's clearly somebody is lying in these documents. It is very clear that the writers of these documents are not 21 and are fucking lying. And I would not be surprised if Sally was actually talking to people who were much younger than what they said they were. So it's probably worse than what we're reading. But because they're teenagers or children and they're lying on the internet, they have aged themselves up so that way they could also protect themselves. Because there's no way, there is no way in hell that I would believe that a 21-year-old wrote this. Like, this is written very poorly. I hold no emotional weight to this account, as I already feel entirely disconnected from the person I was all these years ago. I'll also be providing links below for those who are curious. TLDR, what if this is all a LARP? I don't know. I don't think so. Look, I could be completely fucking poison pilled and just assume that everybody that gets on the internet is lying immediately. And I tend to err on the side that people are lying all the time on the internet. But then also, when people present stuff seriously, I have to take them with a bit of charitability, even if it seems a little ridiculous too. Warrior Cat's child grooming ASMR. TLDR, me and my friends met Sally when we were all between 11 to 15/16. My first interaction with her was on Twitter when she reached out to me about a Danganronpa ship. Okay. First of all, shouldn't be on Twitter. You shouldn't be on Twitter. We need to get children off of Twitter. All right. You know, you wouldn't have been groomed if there was a way to keep children off of Twitter. I'm not saying that we should have digital IDs either. All right. Because clearly that is just a mass surveillance tactic in order to further pursue fucking techno-fascist dictatorships. Right. But like, you shouldn't have been on Twitter, period. All right. I don't want to victim blame, but you shouldn't have been on Twitter. I am victim blaming, but you shouldn't have been on Twitter. We immediately discussed a not safe for work Danganronpa fan-made game and promptly became very close. Why were you... I don't... Guys, when I was a teenager, I was definitely on places I shouldn't have been, okay? I would be a hypocrite. I am a hypocrite. I am a hypocrite for criticizing them for that, okay? I am. But I also didn't tell people my age on the internet, and I never, ever, ever interacted with strangers. Doubly so if I knew they were adults. I never did it. I was so afraid. I made friends with someone in World of Warcraft, and I told my parents about it, and when they yelled at me, I stopped playing WoW for like over a decade. I didn't play WoW until I was an adult because I was so scared straight. To be honest, my parents kind of overreacted to it, but like I just never did it again. While I was engaging with this as a child, I can confirm that while I seeked this kind of thing out a lot, she would still reciprocate at 20 plus years old. The most significant instance was her drawing extremely explicit porn of two minor characters, Sayahara and Kokichi Oma of Danganronpa. But I will also say, do you play the Danganronpa fan game? What? How come the not safe for work Danganronpa you consumed was okay, but now all of a sudden it's not okay? Oh. As an art trade with me, but I did not ever return to drawing as I realized this felt weird and I made excuses that I changed my mind / couldn't fit the time to draw. It is deleted now, but I remember bringing it up with another animator when I was silenced by her. What does that mean? What does that mean? I feel like this would be a more damning document with information, right? Like, if you had those things there, it would change this. Still not the worst thing to happen to the Danganronpa fandom. Has Diesel learned Warrior Cat's jargon yet? I haven't even gotten there, dude. It's just dysfunctional, poor grammar. I don't know. I'm definitely like fucking victim blaming the shit out of this minor, but then also in the same respect, there's no fucking like self-preservation. It's actually kind of crazy. Like if they had a fork, I'd be worried that they'd stick it in a socket. Does he know what the dark forest is? Yes, yes. I always operated on the internet under the presumption of the dark forest. But I remember bringing it up to another animator when I was silenced by her. I wish I still had the image. Because even though she knew it was wrong, but did not correct it. You can see more about that in the doc above. It was around my 16th birthday when we became friends, and I can confirm my age here. I don't think that this person, I think that Sally was grooming a 10-year-old. I think that this was a much younger person being groomed. Okay, I think that this person is lying about their age, and Sally is a gigapedophile who needs to be hurt by the fullest extent of the law. I think that Sally actually is worse than these This document is so bad, I can only assume that it's actually a billion times worse. Okay, because I think a child wrote this. As some of you know, there's a video going around with explicit proof of when I was 16 and me and my friends, parentheses, all were minors, were being stupid kids. Here you can see she is in the call. I have not changed the title since. I'm hesitant to send a link, however I feel it is vital. This was not the only stream we had, and I feel saddened that any adult around us at the time that saw this did not shut it down. You can find a video on the OG Twitter call out, I imagine. It has voice proof. I just don't feel comfy directly linking it here. Why? You're posting a Google document online. Why are we fucking beating around the bush now? Just fucking post the link. Amateurs. Ay, ay, ay. Sally reads Pingu Smut in a heavy Swedish accent. All right, that's a serious offense right there. Okay. I also want to reiterate that Yowie clan was something me and my Yowie clan. Yowie clan was something me and my friends named a chat when we were being goofy. It was not, dude, all of these recent streams, I never want children. This is just the worst. This is just the worst. When we were being goofy, it was not solely her, but I'm only providing this and that there are claims of any slander. The minors named a chat, but she was in it as an only adult and participated while sending not safe for work in my personal DMs. Sorry for the misinfo. I just want to be honest and clear with everyone to the best of my ability. This was written by a child. I refuse to believe that a 21-year-old adult that can vote, drink, and drive, shoot a gun, wrote this. I refuse to believe that. Was Yowie being posted? What is that? Is that Linux? Is that oh, it's an old version of Mac. I'm like, it's a really old version of Mac OS. I was 16 during this incident. I feel like we're just repeating the document, but let's just keep going. I was 16 during this incident, but there was no effort made to tell me this was not okay. I was an extremely ill child. I was an extremely ill child and had no idea that this was wrong at all. Others who were young were here for this too. Ultimately, I convinced myself, like this individual, I confessed my feelings and reciprocated a confession. On and off, she was wary about any kind of relationship until 2018. This was kept on the low, and whether I mentioned how happy I was about having a partner, she asked me to keep it on the low. I would simply resort to vaguing about how happy I was having a partner. We were planning on meeting IRL. Jesus Christ. A singular incident on a voice call, I admitted perceived sexual attraction, and she responded that sometimes she felt that way too. Ultimately, the relationship did not end on our terms, rather outside forces. Sally moved on in those years. What do you mean outside forces? Like a storm swept you away? What do you mean by that? This is the second time somebody has mentioned some nebulous outside force breaking up this relationship. Ultimately, the relationship did not end on our terms, rather outside forces. Sally moved on in those years, and by the time I came back online, she had a new partner who I will not name. So charitable take is like when they were dating at like the age gap of 20 to 21 and 17. Well, I don't know what the law is in Sweden, right? Like I can't even begin to give an opinion on that, given that seems like a very Eurocentric event, or that they were in the U.S. and Sally was fucking halfway across the globe. But I can't even begin to discern where each of these parts are, because everything is so dysfunctional and like weird. Why was this wrong? Mainly in part because, as it turns out, maybe I was just some fanboy all along. What the fuck is going on? Age of consent in Sweden is 15? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Fuck. Why was this wrong? Mainly in part because it turns out maybe I was just some fanboy all along. I felt special, feeling like Sally's sidekick, being treated in a way other adults wouldn't treat me, and having my name associated with big animators. Europe moment. I think it should be pretty clear to everybody, I'm not taking this seriously, like, in the fucking slightest. I'm just here to, like, have a goof. But also, like, all of these, like, weird, like, meandering anecdotes this author is giving, I feel like is them trying to, like, doesn't it... Part of this feels like them trying to get a hit in, right? Because this person is 21 now. Like, why do they, like... Aside from the grooming, which I guess they should care about, why do they care about this? You know, it's like, oh, I thought I was special, but it turns out I thought I was special, but it just turns out that I was a creep, I was a weirdo, and that you didn't really love me like I thought you did. Right? Like, what? That's like weird, especially as like a 21-year-old. Everything has to be a hit, everything has to be grooming, everything has to be a big deal. I am so apathetic to this stuff now. I just don't know how anybody could take anything seriously. I felt special, like Sally's sidekick. Is this a white boy? Being treated in a way other adults wouldn't treat me, and having my name associated with big animators. I would consistently brag about being her special friend. Her name is what got me into Popular Warriors multi-animator projects all around. And I took advantage of that, thinking how cool it would be if I could date a bigger inspiration, I suppose. This is why this is why all will never ever be okay. I deeply regret not seeing this mindset until past several months. What? What were you going into this thinking? How can I I'm just, what is the mindset here? Is the mindset I could get, like, if I get this partner, then I could get, like, ups in my internet career? Is that basically what you're saying? Like, am I reading that incorrectly? Like, oh, I'll just keep dating bigger and bigger inspirations. I'll just keep running up the chain of people in the Warriors fandom. Transactional reverse grooming, dude. We're it's just so. This is such a load-bearing paragraph. I can't help but like not be astounded at this. What am I even supposed to say? Testimonies will be updated, maybe. Okay. Twitter, stop hiding this challenge. Trigger warning in doc. Warning doc on Sagittarius. Written by Faye. I was directly a witness to this. I was 12 to 13 at the time. And it was in a group called Yowie Clan. Named by Sally. So that's a lie. Right? Like this child, because this is a child that's tweeting, said that Sally named it, but then the docu writer says that Sally didn't write it. In said group, Sally was the only adult in a group chat full of minors, me being the youngest of the group. Sally would be streaming with the group, and one of the victim's closest friends at the time, I remember various images of ship art being drawn, as well as the victim coming to me and telling me about the relationship. Imagine being 12 and being the linchpin witness in a grooming. Sally was adamant about keeping it a secret until the victim turned 18. Hey, they didn't blur this one out. I can see the OC. I know you probably won't get this until tomorrow morning, but wow. That was fucking awful. This is actually like an awful. This is awful. This was awful. This unironically was awful. This might take the cake for the worst Google Docie I've read all year. 100, like this was the worst Google Docie I read all year. Period. I'm actually astounded by, like, I think Sally was like actually grooming. Like, I think the OP of this is like max 16. Okay, I think the victim in this was like 8. All right. Diesel, be careful scrolling up. I beg of you. It's okay. We're good, chat. We're good. We're good. God, I don't even know how. I don't know. Barrio was in the other docky. Yeah, F- on the Google docky. Holy shit. What's their main channel? Who is this? They have 5K subs. It's just like a kid's YouTube channel, to be honest. What if the docu writers are from Sweden and therefore English isn't their first language, and that's why it's written the way it is? I mean, that's possible. It's definitely possible. I wouldn't be surprised. And then in the same breath, I'm just like, she, her, 21, lesbian. I don't believe you're 21 either. I don't believe the YouTuber in this is 21.
Alarming news has surfaced.
There's like is this because of COVID? Is this like the generation that was like impacted by COVID? Is this like a COVID related issue? I feel like it is.
A popular word
Do they say anything else aside from read
was
it?
simply a bystander, and I felt that these actions were extremely well, but I specifically remember the confession 18 instead of 17. Would people have been so outraged? That's right, you back.
Hold on.
I first read this kinds of things and I deeply apologize, but it makes sense knowing because of our friendship was primarily and largely when I was 16 and these timelines matching up considering I had dated 2 people during these events. Evidence
Is this COVID related? And if so, what do we do about it? I know the answer to this. We should develop more third spaces that are affordable and equitable so that way the youth of America are allowed to associate and socialize with their cohorts in a healthy and meaningful manner in physical spaces. So that way they understand social cues and can better develop those things to be participatory members in society. But that would require us spending money on people, and we're not going to do that.
on my channel with my long activity goes to show that I was not 17 for long before I went on my interruption / hiatus, but the official
They clearly
romantic
say
things
more, so let's find out.
indeed did happen, to be clear. There are screenshots below, but like I said, I am not sure.
So the youth can get off that damn phone. You know, there's actually been a lot of positive reception from the lack of phones in classrooms that's been happening. I was reading an article about that. By the way, we shouldn't have to find evidence to take phones out of the classroom. There should be evidence for why phones need to be in the classroom, okay? There's been a marketed uptick in not keeping phones in the classrooms and how much it's been helping.
I can tell you right now, it is disgusting. It's disturbing, it's awful, and
I mean, the Barrio was pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie.
honestly...
But like, look, man, maybe I'm jaded, but I've read a lot worse. Okay? I've seen way more powerful pedophiles. In terms of pedophile power scaling, this person is barely getting a meter on there.
It's horrid. It physically makes me ill to see any of it, and
I don't think you're 21 either. You're a fucking child too. I don't believe it.
I don't even know like what to say. When I first read this,
What is Barrio, dare I ask? So I want you to think of a really fat, hairy Dr. Mario sucking the King Koopa cock of Bowser.
I just genuinely had to get out of my chair and walk away. Following these
You are weak. Maybe I'm just too much of a negative person. Maybe my soul's been tainted, dude.
allegations, Sally stopped posting around 2023. However, after only 2 years, they have begun posting again, at least on Instagram. What's arguably the most disturbing part of this new situation is the response. The comments under these posts are overwhelmingly supportive. This post was from 2 days ago, and as you can read, and please don't send any hate or anything, honestly.
Guys, this person is disgusting. It's horrible how they're a groomer. Guys, please don't harass them.
Don't interact at all. The awareness is what needs to happen. These
Dude, this is such a... Listen, man, I'm sorry, but we gotta pick a side here, okay? Either you want them strung up from the rafters, or you don't want anything done about it, all right? I hate this whole, like, taking both sides to try and act like the bigger person. You don't want that. Stop saying you do. I'm tired of people saying otherwise.
comments. And again, please don't send hate to these individuals. Just be aware that this is the reaction.
Just be aware. You could be wandering down the street and somebody grooms you on fucking Instagram.
They're getting. I don't know what the drama was, but welcome back. I'm so glad to see you back, finally. Welcome back. I wish for only progress for you from here on out. I don't know what happened to you, but
It's just like, at that rate, what do we do about this, right? Like, they come back and it's just like, well, there's not much you can do about it.
I missed you. This one is crazy.
I'm actively 21 and working on a welding certificate. I hope you realize how socialized you are in comparison to the people we're talking about today.
Nice to see you again. I'm sorry for all the shit that happened. It was so overdramatic.
Well, I like how they're getting all heated about it. They should pick a lane, okay? Yeah, it's like we need to defeat the Nazi menace, guys, but don't harass them or be mean to them.
Right, the person was 17 years old then. I can't
Steven Universe and its consequences. I know, Steven Universe ass confrontation resolution, dude.
understand why people now decided to reduce her age to 15. Like Sally was 21 at the time, and the person she was dating was 17. But I'm curious, if the person had been 18 instead of 17, would people have been so outraged? Although there's no age difference between 17 and 18. Like, leave those two alone already. The situation is long gone. Sally has long been in a relationship with someone
Oh, you're not 21. I don't believe you are.
they're her own age.
I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it.
In short, I hope they stop writing nasty things to her, and she just continues creating. At least in Blue Sky, where there aren't many people. 18 and 21 is not that big of a deal. I know, right? I'm 34, and 21 and 17 are both babies to me.
Check that guy's hard drives. Check that guy's hard drives.
I think the people who think there's a massive difference are other 21-year-olds who think they're as grown up as it gets.
I will say there's definitely 21-year-olds that think they're as grown up as it gets. That I will say. I think that the more I learn and grow as a person, and the more people I meet, the more I understand how nuanced and complicated literally everything is. And if I tried to sit around and give like, it's like why I can't get mad at somebody for like, you know, I don't know, fucking being a part of the Warrior Cats fandom, right? Like I could see, I don't know, I'll throw Chris under the bus here, right? I could see like Chris like dogging on people for liking Warriors. And yeah, do I think it is a little childish? Yeah, sure. But if it brings you joy and it sparks some kind of creativity in your life, like I'm not gonna fucking decry you on that. You know, it's just it would be wrong of me to do that.
Illegal. See, this person, I love this person. That's a legal adult and underage teenager, big dog, because it is. I'm sorry, but
It's just like this person needs to just either like they need to like get a spine or like move on.
This kills me. If the person had been 18 instead of 17, would people have been so outraged? No! Because 18 is a legal adult. It's not just the fact that it happened. It was the fact that Sally knew it was weird, it was wrong, and told them to keep it a secret.
Yeah, that's the most damning thing about Sally, is that they knew that they couldn't say it publicly. And so that means they knew and felt that there was something inherently wrong about it.
So much beyond this, and it was not over dramatic. I think it was under dramatic, if I'm quite honest.
I also think it was over. This has been over dramatic, but you know.
What pisses me off is the 34-year-old. All right.
Listen. Everybody is 12 on the internet. That's the theory. Okay. Everybody acts 12. It's like, oh, of course you think that. You're 12. Okay. That's it. That's the only answer you need to give. Nobody's telling the truth on the internet. It's all lies. Okay. It's all fabrications. It was all AI. All right. It was fucking Rob Reiner's not even dead. I saw that motherfucker working at Denny's. Okay. That's how fake reality is. Okay. We're living in a Bulgarian dystopian hyper-realist nightmare. Okay.
Can think that 21 and 17 are both babies to you, all right? And
I will also say I think somebody who's 21 and someone who's 17 are both equally as like immature.
Massive difference are the people who think it's a massive difference are other 21-year-olds. You do realize
I don't understand your argument.
that it's different when you're younger.
What the fuck are you fucking saying? Hold on. Let me actually listen to their argument because I feel like they're really upset, and so I want to hear what they have to say.
And it was not over dramatic. I think it was under dramatic, if I'm quite
Yeah, you can see them both as children, but one's a legal adult and one isn't. Yeah, no, absolutely.
honest. What pisses me off is the 34-year-old. All right, you can think that 21 and 17 are both babies to you. All right, and the massive difference are the people who think it's a massive difference are other 21-year-olds. You do realize that it's different when you're younger.
Yeah, you think of it differently when you're younger. Okay. 35 plus is old. That chatter has named the age of the unk as 35 and up.
I want to close with my personal thoughts. As a 21-year-old myself, the idea of engaging in such behavior like this, especially towards minors, makes me physically fucking sick. There is no excuse. There's no growth arc.
Maybe I am Maybe I am just like really jaded to this stuff because I'm just so used to like covering this. But like the concept of somebody being physically fucking sick and having read those Google documents is absolutely befuddling to me, considering how fucking like safe those were in comparison to some of the other stuff I've read.
There's no nostalgia or amount of time passing that makes this acceptable, especially
The idea of nostalgia making this okay is crazy.
without an apology to those affected. The willingness.
I don't even know. It's like, okay, like if Sally apologizes, that's like a tacit admission of guilt. But like it also seems like nothing's gonna happen too. So it's just like, I don't know. What do you do? I guess, you know, but the alternative is throw the baby out with the bathwater, which I guess isn't okay.
People to overlook to minimize the
You don't understand. I'm 21. 21 is young, and it's a fucking Chud Jack sitting in a room.
situation this serious, or to minimize the situation just because they like someone's art is fucking disgusting. And honestly, it says a lot about how internet culture continues to protect creators instead of victims. That's all I have to say.
I mean, I don't think so. But the issue is that like if this stuff doesn't get addressed by law enforcement, then it's just dying in the water, right? And it's like I obviously the stuff that Sally did is not okay. Absolutely not. Right? But the thing is that instead of taking it to the police or law enforcement or maybe even law enforcement not doing their job, these things don't go anywhere, right? Like you can do everything right and send it to the police and do what needs to be done, and then nothing can happen. The same way that you can post a like a Google document and nothing can happen. It's the same thing. I mean, the lack of response in the long term is what I mean, even for me, I've found is just like really disheartening, right? Like I it just is, because what the fuck do you do? Right? You like it's like you don't want to sit on your hands because you know in good conscience what you should do about it, which is go to the police. You go to the police, you do that, nothing fucking happens. Okay, well, I guess I won't go to the police. I guess I'll post it online. You post it online. Maybe there's a little bit of backlash. There's a bit of an outcry. It's pretty bad. Time passes. All right, well, it's fucking 6 months later and they're back posting again and nothing changed. Then what do you do? Like, I'm not asking to like kind of like poo-poo on them or like worsen it for them or make them feel bad. It's just that there's almost like there's so much online that there's like a like this inherent futility to doing something like that and expecting change. It's like you do something, like you post a Google document or you post like a huge like expose and a huge thing. And I think for a lot of folks, myself included, you kind of expect something to change, right? You expect something to change. I myself had expect something to change, and it didn't. Nothing does. It never does. It's actually kind of crazy. Like for so many things, it doesn't change. So I don't even know if it's like respecting victims. I think the way that you respect victims is that you allow them to have their own space to tell their story, which, by the way, it doesn't seem like the victims were able to tell their own story. Somebody took the story from them and then told it for them, which is a huge problem. But then two, if you want to respect the victims, you have to allow them the grace and the space to not only move on, but for they themselves to get therapy on these situations and move on. Especially if nothing's going to be done about it legally, right? There needs to be some way for them to get better, right? It's just it's rough. It's not great, but it's not that they don't want victims to speak. I think we're way past that. It's just that we gotta move from the way that we work with these things online is like getting retribution, revenge for the victims, right? Getting those things for the victims. But what we really should be doing is like allowing victims to have the space to get therapy, and then if they want to tell their story themselves, for they themselves to tell their story, and like to also like not take away their agency. There's a lot of that, of taking away their agency. It happens all the time in these like Google Docu situations where like where a victim has their story told from them, And it's like they had no agency. They have nothing. They're like an innocent bab who's like lost floating in the wind. And it's like, well, you kind of are robbing that person of their agency as a human being by doing all of that for them. Yeah, even if the police do nothing, having a paper trail that you tried to report it to authorities is a vital step to getting something done. Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. It's clearly the whole retributive, like Google Docy vigilante stuff doesn't do anything. It really doesn't. Yeah, I don't know if Sally can get arrested if 15 is legal in Sweden and she groomed a 17-year-old at 21. Yeah. Yeah, the problem is that a lot of these kids are poorly educated and poorly socialized. They don't see solutions because they don't know how or why. Yeah.
But
it doesn't help that we're not there yet where all the parents, like millennials are having kids, but not every millennial is a millennial that like grew up with the internet yet. And then a lot of their kids aren't old enough to use the internet. So we're still having kids that are growing up without like the parent that's like taking control of the internet and monitoring their child.
Be said. Ciao, guys.
But yeah, it's just like I don't even. It's like I want to be able to say something that like something can be done or like something more can go on, but like not really. I was almost an adult when I got the internet. That was back in 2007. Holy shit. That's a long time ago. Maybe we need to stop thinking about retribution against the perpetrators and more about how to help the victims heal and move forward. Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say, philosopher. I think you kind of summed it up neatly in a tweetable format. Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, like obviously I'd be hurting my own income if I said don't post a Google Docy, right? But it's just like I don't know. If you're like if you really care about that, there are like ways to be a positive force that don't involve you being like a messenger for the good of the internet. I don't know. I'm just more interested in things that make like a change for the person in real life rather than goo goo gaga internet stuff, you know? Anyway, let's see. Trying to see what else is here. So, like, if the allegations have already been brought forward and with or without the victim's consent, then the abuser comes back. Why would you relitigate it without the victim said so? Because it's not about the victim. It's because they want to be a vigilante about it. That's really it. It's like they could just relitigate it a billion times over and there'll always be a new guy. Like, also, they want to move on. Being reminded their abuser is back probably isn't good for them. Yeah, that's actually one of the points of the docu they made. They even said in the docu they want to move on. Which is like really telling, you know, that they're just not, they don't want to be there anymore. They want to live their life. It's hero LARP, yeah. Yeah. Ultimately it is. I think it was very poorly written. That was a very funny document because of how bad it was written. Dude. Insane. Anyway. Damn. I think I'm gonna do a stage in the Discord in like maybe like 20 minutes. So if you're interested and want to drop by for a stage, please come by. Just give me like a half hour so my voice can recover and then I'll be there. But bye bye.